In this lecture, we will discuss about the concept of average power. So, average power is the average of instantaneous power over one period. We know that instantaneous power is power at each and every instant of time. So, we cannot measure power at each and every instance of time. It is very difficult. So what we do is we are going to take average of that instantaneous power. So that average of that instantaneous power over a particular period is in the sense over one period is called as average power. So average power, it can be defined as average power. You notice that it is represented by the term capital P. So capital P is the average of instantaneous power. Instantaneous power is represented as P of t. So we are going to integrate it over one time period and take an average. So that is equal to 1 by t integral of 0 to t p of t into dt. This is the definition of average power. So p of t, we know the value of p of t. Substitute it and do the integration. So p of t, it consists of two components. First term is a constant, second term is a sinusoidal term. So first term is half Vm Im cos theta v minus theta I, and the second term is half Vm Im cos of 2 omega t plus theta v plus theta I. So we are going to integrate these two terms separately over one time period. So after integration, we'll get this. So the first term, it becomes half Vm Im cos of theta v minus theta I, because all these things are constant. Only we have the term dt. So integration of dt is t. So substitute the limits, we'll get t minus 0. So that t and this will get cancelled. So we will get this as a constant term. And the second part is half Vm Im 1 by t integral of 0 to t. Here this is a sinusoidal term which has a frequency of 2 omega, right? So the second integrand is a sinusoid. So we know that it is a sinusoid. So we have the positive cycle as well as the negative cycle. So if we take an average over a particular period, what happens is the area under the positive positive half cycle is cancelled by the area under the negative half cycle. So the average of this sinusoid, it becomes 0, right? So the average power is a constant value whose value is given as P is equal to half Vm Im cos of theta v minus theta I. So average power is a constant value. So here, depending upon the values of theta v and theta I, we will have the average power values. So we notice that P of t, instantaneous power, is time varying, whereas this average power, capital P, it does not depend on time. So normally in all power measurements, we do only the average power measurement. So to find out the instantaneous power, that is P of t, we should have voltage and current only in time domain. That is, we should have only V of t and I of t. But to find the average power P, this V of t and I of t, it can be either represented in time domain or in frequency domain, right? It doesn't matter. If V and I are available either in time domain or frequency domain, we can calculate the value of average power. Now, the phasor forms of V of t and I of t, that can be written as phasor V is equal to Vm angle theta v, and I can be written as Im angle theta I. So average power can be calculated using these phasors itself, because we need only Vm, Im, theta V, theta I. So average power is equal to half phasor V into conjugate of I, phasor I. Why conjugate? You notice that this is the average power value, half Vm Im cos theta V minus theta I, right? Here current phase angle is negative, so that's why here we have used the conjugate of I. So here average power capital P is equal to 1 by 2 phasor V into conjugate of phasor I. So this is the value of average power in frequency domain, right? So half Vm Im angle theta V minus theta I. So this can be represented as half Vm Im. So this can be written as cos of theta V minus theta I plus j sin theta V minus theta I. So here the real part of this part, so half Vm Im, this is the real part, right? So this part is the average power value. So average power is half real part of V phasor V into conjugate of phasor I. So this is the value of average power, right? Now we can consider two cases in this. That is, depending upon the value of theta V and theta I, we will have two cases, right? So the first case is what happens when theta V is equal to theta I. What does it mean, theta V is equal to theta I? It means that voltage and current are in phase, that is, they do not have any phase difference between them. So if theta V is equal to theta V is equal to theta I, then this becomes cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. So the value of average power is half Vm Im. So this is this is a purely resistive circuit, or we have only a resistive load. It means that the power is being observed at all times. Now let us consider the next case where theta V minus theta I is equal to plus or minus 90 degree. So this difference is actually equal to plus or minus 90 degree. What does it mean? Cos of 90. So cos of 90 is 0. It means that average power is 0. What does average power is equal to 0 mean? It means that we have a purely reactive circuit, right? So reactive circuit, it does not observe any power. Only the resistive load absorbs power, and a pure reactive load, that is either an L or C, it absorbs 0 average power. So average power is denoted by capital P. So capital P is equal to half Vm Im cos of theta V minus theta I. So depending upon the phase angle value, we have two cases. The first case is when the phase angle between voltage and current, that is theta V and theta I, are same. Then the circuit is a purely resistive circuit and it absorbs power at all periods of time. Whereas the second case is this phase difference is equal to 90 degree, plus or minus 90 degree. It means that we have a purely reactive circuit. Reactive circuit is we do not have any resistance. We will have either an inductance or a capacitance. So that is what we call as a pure reactive circuit, and it absorbs no average power. No average power. Why? Because the power at the positive cycle, power will be absorbed, and the power at the negative cycle, power will be given back to the source. So we have 0 average power for a reactive circuit.